Hello, everyone, and welcome to Streetwise Live. I'm Cyndi Edwards. Well, a shortage of helium isn't just bad news for birthday parties. It's critical for multiple industries. Today, we're talking to a company that says they can fill the need, and we'll find out why their stock might be ready to soar. Well, in the last couple of decades, shortages of helium have become a recurring nightmare for doctors and scientists who rely on the gas to keep their instruments running. Royal Helium is currently one of the largest helium leaseholders in North America. Joining us now are Royal Helium's president and CEO, Andrew Davidson, along with capital market specialist, Campbell Becher. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Cyndi.
Hi, Cyndi.
All right, Andrew, I want to start with you. Tell us why investors should be interested in helium. What are its uses and why is it in short supply?
No, thanks for the question. There's really no short answer to that. There are so many industries that depend on helium for day-to-day function. And the shortest way to answer it is to say that life in general is dependent on helium. Everything people do on a day-to-day basis is reliant on helium one way or another. Now, the major industries that rely on it heavily would be, healthcare first and foremost, principally MRI machines here in North America, the technological space, including the manufacturing and actual operation of various high-tech products, transportation. It's in every airbag that was ever deployed in any vehicle. It's used heavily in rocketry and in quantum computing. I mean, it is a unique molecule that has any number of applications and is irreplaceable in all of them.
And we just don't think about it that often. So that's pretty interesting. Now, Campbell, we know you're heavily invested in this company. And as a longtime resource investor, what do you like about it compared to so many other energy or mining stocks?
First of all, where there's mystery, there's margin. So, to start off, not a lot of people know about helium, and that's what excited us the most about this investment. Secondly, when it comes to commodities, especially oil and gas, it's very rare to find probabilities of success, around the 80-85% level, which we found with Royal Helium. And then, even bigger, and this is crystal balling a little bit, is, we announced a hydrogen find of, I think it ranged about 9% over 39 meters. That doesn't happen ever. And so, for us being able to, and this is all fully disclosed, for us to be able to come in and invest in a company with helium, get the hydrogen for free, and essentially we're getting the helium for free right now as well, and fully financed. I mean, it's got a lot of check marks. I mean, I'm sure this company's not going to be around in 18 months if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, because the world's going to come to a few suppliers of helium, and we're going to be one of those suppliers of helium. So it's very, very exciting. And then the potential of spinouts from this from the other gases that have been captured and found in this project is incredible, and it's so cheap. It's almost ridiculous.
Okay, well, Royal Helium certainly garnering a lot of interest right now. Cormark Securities calling it a buy recommendation with a target price of $1.70. 8 Capital also has a buy recommendation with a target price of $1.85. It's currently at about 51 cents Canadian. So, Andrew, in addition to being on the TSX, Royal Helium has just started trading on the OTCQB here in the United States. So congratulations on that. You have said this is an asset that is undervalued. So we do hear that sometimes. So why is that particularly true for your company?
Yeah, well, thanks. The OTCQB thing was important for us. We built a pretty big following in the U.S. and wanted to make sure there's liquidity there for those shareholders. So on the valuation side, just about every CEO will tell you their stock's undervalued. But in our case, it's undervalued for a couple of reasons. One, relative to our peers, we're larger. We have a potentially larger resource. But two, and Campbell touched on this to some degree, is we have potential for resource across multiple industrial gas streams, creating multiple revenue sources and ones that are in exceptionally high demand, whether it be the helium that's in our name. That's obviously what we're shooting for. But when we discovered the elevated levels of hydrogen, and then you dive into the hydrogen market and what's going on there, I mean, it's its potential to be a world-class resource on its own. And as Campbell spoke, we get zero value for that in the market now. In fact, we get essentially zero value for the helium as well. So we're in a pretty unique spot in that we have over 1 million acres of land to develop here. We've drilled our first 3 wells. We hit a successful helium numbers in all 3 and discovered potentially one of the largest helium plays ever in Climax 3 with a helium in place number of 6 billion cubic feet.
And this is all in Saskatchewan, right?
It's all in Saskatchewan, a very friendly jurisdiction to operate with a lot of nearby technical support. All the services are local. It's really a great spot to be, and the government itself is so heavily behind what we're doing here because it's a clear transition using existing oil and gas technology into a new gas stream, a new economic venture for the province that's really more green tech, green focus than traditional oil and gas.
And we know that's super hot right now. Hey, Campbell, can you comment on the management team and the assets or other aspects of this company that you like?
Yeah, there's a couple things. First of all, what we look for is, great management and trustworthy management. And having been to Saskatchewan numerous times, I haven't met any bad people in Saskatchewan. All honest people, hardworking, and I think that's one of the things that certainly attracted us to this project. If we can step back and talk a little bit about the stock price, I think it's important to note that right now I think we're getting we're trading at 51 cents for a couple of reasons. Most importantly, a financing that went through with a lot of hedge funds. So the company's fully financed, which is absolutely phenomenal. But hedge funds are a bit of a double-edged sword. The hedge funds are very, very fast money, and they certainly took advantage of a very liquid stock that we had in getting this money in the door. So I'd say we're almost through this purgatory of this financing that closed about a month ago. And at the end of the day, we've had great shareholders. We got great new shareholders coming in, but for us, it's really telling the story to people that are going to be there for the long term and finding long-term investors that believe in a story that needs long-term investors as well to really capture all of the value of the helium, of the hydrogen, and this great management team that's going to deliver. And they've done nothing but deliver since the day I've met these guys.
Well, there's a glowing endorsement. Andrew, what are some impending milestones that should advance your projects and add shareholder value in the near term?
Sure. Well, we're back in the field operating again. We're completing on another zone in one of our first 3 wells, looking to define additional helium resource there. But in the next 6 months, we'll be drilling an additional 7 wells here in Saskatchewan across 4 different project areas. So really what we're going to be doing is repeating the same program we did back in January, but doing it at a much larger scale. And the potential to define helium resource in 2 parts of Saskatchewan across 4 project areas will really differentiate us from all the other helium players out there. And interestingly enough, the areas we're going to have the highest recorded helium concentrations in Saskatchewan history. So they're very prospective parts of the province that have been virtually untouched by helium explorers for whatever reason. But we're changing that. So there's going to be a lot of value catalysts over the next 6 months, just based on a properly planned, properly funded exploration program.
Okay, finally, Campbell, I'm going to give you the last question. Do you see this company as an acquisition target by a producer already in the helium space, or do you see them staying independent on their own?
Well, eventually, yeah, it's going to be taken out for sure, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, that was one of our reasons for getting into the investment in the very beginning. It's just a matter of, how long is it going to take them to get there? I mean, in a perfect world, we'd love to have a strategic investment from, whoever's going to take us out down the road. Yeah. And I think that's probably how it'll work out because, a lot of these bigger companies, they want to dip their toe in the water, really be able to see from the inside of the business how it's working. But, they don't have a gas that trades anywhere near, what helium trades at. So if you're an oil and gas producer, you can't ask for much better than this. And it's so cheap. I guess that's the one thing that scares me. This thing gets taken out too early. I mean, if this thing got taken out anywhere below $2, we'd be really upset.
Andrew, you're not going to let that happen, are you?
No, I mean, if we have any success here in the next number of months, $2 is going to be in the rearview mirror. In my opinion. I'm biased, mind you, but
Sure.
but we have a history of delivering on what we say we're going to do, and we don't plan on changing that. Our team is very focused and very, very good at what they do.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you very much for having us.
Again, the company is called Royal Helium, and thanks to all of you as well for tuning in. Please subscribe to our channel and do give us a thumbs up. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.